the purpose of this video is to introduce you guys to our new training request process and show you what our new training request form will look like. So once you click on the link to open up the form, this will be the first page that you see. So this is kind of the title page, and this is where you'll enter your email address. So it's important to remember this is your email address as the requester, because this is the email address that we'll be using to communicate with you about upcoming training opportunities. So I'm going to go ahead and type in my information as if I am requesting training for a new user. So once I enter that, then I'm going to go ahead and click next, and it will take me to the next section of the form. So the next section is going to be the requester's information. This is where I would enter my information as the requester for this training. I'll enter my first and last name, my title and agency. Of course, I am the HMIS trainer, and my work phone number. Once I've completed all those sections, I can go ahead and click next. Notice anything with a red star is going to be required, so I won't be able to move on to the next page of the form until each of the required fields is completed. I'm going to go ahead and click next. Now this section is going to be where I would enter the program manager's information. Notice each section here is going to be optional because it is quite possible that the person requesting the training is the program manager. And if that is the case, we do not need to fill out this information once again because it would be identical. So in that case, we could skip over this section and go ahead and click next. But if the requester is not the program manager, then we do need to have this section filled out so that we do know who the program manager is. So I'm going to pretend that I am the program manager, so I'm going to go ahead and skip over this section. Now this is where we are going to enter the new user's information. This section is important because this is what we will use to create the HMIS account. So the name is going to be what this person's username will be. So we need their first and last name. Please be sure, since this is going to be their username, please be sure that it is spelled correctly and that it is the name that they would prefer. For example, if someone has a hyphenated last name, but they prefer to only go by the first name of the last name, then we want to know what that name would be that they would prefer so that they are comfortable with their username. I'm going to make up some information about a pretend new user. Notice the email address section is required because we do have to have an email address on file in order to create their HMIS account. It is a required section when creating their account, so it cannot be created without the email address. It is also essential to have this on file in the event they ever forget their password or have any issues with their HMIS account. They will not be able to retrieve their password without an email address on file. Now the work phone number, however, this is optional because we do recognize that not everyone has a work phone number assigned. But if they do have a work phone number assigned, it is helpful to have it on file for their HMIS account. So we do want to try to enter it if applicable. Now the date of request is going to be required because we do need to know what date the training is being requested. Sorry, what date the request is coming in versus the preferred training date is optional. This tells us if you already know what date that you want your new user to come to training, then we can work on scheduling that date. Remember, new user training is usually scheduled on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons. So if you already know what date works best for this person, then you can let us know and we can try our best to schedule them for that date. However, if you don't know what date, you can just leave this blank and we can let you know what upcoming dates are available. So the next is going to be the access type. So full HMIS access is going to be used for anyone who's going to be entering any sort of data, whether it's case notes, services, enrolling clients, exiting clients, any sort of data entry or running reports. They'll need the full HMIS access. HMIS viewing only will give a user access to the client's enrollment, case managers, address history, and demographics page, and services. So this is typically used for somebody who is just reviewing data in HMIS and possibly working with clients at a shelter, but not actually entering information into HMIS. Now these two sections are going to be optional. This is where you would indicate if this individual is a manager or supervisor. And then the next section lets us know if this is going to be a refresher training. Refresher training would be used if someone has previously had HMIS access. This form will be used for both new user training and refresher training. So this is where you would indicate if it is a refresher training. Now the next question is going to be the name of the HMIS project that the user will be working with. Now it is quite possible that the user won't be working with a particular HMIS project. So if that's the case, you can leave this section blank. But if you do know what project or projects that the user will be focusing with, then you can indicate that here. And this will help us correctly set up their HMIS account, as well as ensure that they are properly trained on how to use that particular project. The next section is going to be where you can indicate what their duties are going to be in HMIS. So you can check just one box, or you can check all boxes. You can check as many as apply. And this helps us ensure that during the training process, we cover all of their essential duties to make sure that they are properly trained. So we can check whichever tasks they will be responsible for in HMIS. And then anything that they're not responsible for, we can take blank. And then we'll go ahead and click next and be taken to the next page of the form. Now this last page is where the training request will be authorized. So it does have to be authorized by a department head. And all you have to do is actually just type your name here as a department head, and that is your authorization for this training request. Now please be sure that it is actually the department head that is authorizing this. And then once that is completed, you'll click submit. Now once you click submit, that is actually going to generate a ticket in our ticketing system. So once that happens, after that you'll get a response from Samanage, and we can coordinate with you about upcoming training dates, and we can decide on the date that works best for everyone. And then from there, the calendar invite will be sent like usual. So once this form is submitted, the rest of the process looks very similar. The only difference is just going to be the new form that we are utilizing. So we hope that you are excited about this new form. We're hoping that it'll be more user-friendly for you guys, and that it'll kind of simplify the process for you. So as always, please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions, if you run into any issues with this form. But other than that, the form is available on our HMIS website. Thanks for watching.